ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again this evening for the Discipline Therapy Podcast with your two hosts, Suhey Sotomayor, and with me, as always, seven-time author.
EL Discipline in the building.
We'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Legendary Studios and Nelly's Cantina and Taqueria in Hicksville. If you guys are interested in getting some really good authentic Mexican food, Nelly's Taqueria and Cantina in Hicksville.
Yeah.
So this is a special edition episode.
Yes.
Nice.
Both of us are interested in this episode.
Very interested.
All
Do-
right.
Special edition.
What?
No, go ahead. I stopped because you said all right. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So usually when we do special editions, we agree that we're not gonna number them.
No.
So even though, for example, we might be on episode 27, but it could have been episode 40 because we had
Gotcha.
a guest. We
Yeah, we
had
have a
those were
lot of
special editions.
Mhm.
Usually, if it's just you and I, we both agreed that we're gonna do numbers.
Yes. I agree.
So this is a special edition episode, conspiracy theories. Now, me, I'm a big conspiracy theorist, and we've had conversations private,
Yes.
and I just can't wait to get into it.
All right.
I can't wait to get into it. So, where do you want to start first?
I want to start with you giving the fiends what they're looking for.
I'm always so anxious for the.
I know, me too, but come on, you gotta give it to them.
You know what I'm saying? If you remember it and I don't, you should do it because we're gonna be doing it by yourself one day.
Yeah, but we said like season 10. I have time. I have time.
Ladies and gentlemen, since you are fiends,
And you know what that means? Don't do that. You caught me off guard.
we have a dose of discipline therapy where everything is completely free. See, if you subscribe, there's no monthly free. There's no monthly fee. It's free. It's
right here.
judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free, and plenty of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, but make sure the kids are in bed. This is that soul food talk. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast. We're here. Must see. You know what it is.
Yes. All right. So now we can jump into it because I know you. I know.
All right.
can see
So we're gonna run through the bullets.
Mhm.
And if we want to talk about certain things, we'll talk about it. But first thing on my bullet is how they're preparing us for prison with the school
Through
systems.
school. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a good one because in I know it says here like how they have everything structured. Like you go in, you have your classes, then you have to go, for lunch, and you have to wait for the bell because everything is you have to wait until they tell you to move.
Yeah.
Which
So
is-
they're putting you in order to be in order. Like you have to go to school, you have to go to the class, you have a professor you have to be subordinate to. It's kind of like how police officers are. They're
Mm,
preparing you for the outside world that way. The tension's like being in the hole.
yes.
Solitary confinement.
Yep.
Lunchtime, how you have a line.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. The bell rings. Recess time. In jail, you might be in the
1
weight
hour.
room,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, lifting weights or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're preparing us for that. It's a whole system.
Yeah, because they're not preparing us for the real world because they don't even teach us what the kids are supposed to be learning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You'll have like a brief session of like of sex education or whatever. They might teach a brief session of
how to cook.
Black history.
Yeah, but they don't teach how to
cooking
finance.
classes are optional.
They don't teach how to manage your money.
No, they
They
don't.
don't teach you how to how to invest in things.
No.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
That's what people need to
Well,
learn.
I feel like they're not supposed to because one of my bullets here, I don't want to jump off, but putting us in putting us in debt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like another plan, I feel. You know what I'm saying? Higher incarceration of blacks and browns.
Super high, and not even like if you have someone of black and brown
Mhm.
or any mostly black and brown, and you put them up against a Caucasian person that has done the same infraction, it's
Mhm.
the black and brown always get a harder, harsher sentence,
Yeah.
and others get the slap on the wrist.
Mhm.
We
It
talked about this in
racism in
mm-hmm,
America? Yeah. Also, like, there's a hood in every town, in every city, in every state, and that's done purposely.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? Like we were talking about in those episodes with why Black Lives Matter, episode 14 or episode 3 and part 3, part 2 for 3, racism in America, how that's all designed
mm-hmm,
as a system of oppression because it's like the higher the crime, the lower the income is like equate to high crime.
mm-hmm.
Crime literally pays. These
Yeah.
judges, criminal defense attorneys, the police officers.
Yeah. And it's also because like how you said, I saw you said that there's a hood in every city.
Mm,
I saw a meme that says if the hood is so poor, why do people, why do they open up, the Chinese open up nail salons, fruit
mhm,
stands, other
mhm,
Jewish people open up other
mhm.
stuff.
I saw.
It's not that it's that poor, it's because the schools don't teach people how to handle their money.
Yeah,
And so those types of neighborhoods don't know how to spend right. That's what I think. See how it all
I
goes in
s-
together?
mhm. I saw a interview a long time ago of Tupac, and he was like, "Yo, I don't. How is it possible that like people?" He said people shouldn't be hitting lotto. You know what I'm saying? How is it that people are hitting lotto? Meanwhile, this part of the country, people are starving.
Mm-hmm. How about Flint, Michigan? They still don't have clean water.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they brought that to our attention. What 2015?
Mm-hmm.
They still don't have clean water.
Yeah.
And talking about, since this is a conspiracy theory,
Mm.
and you brought up Tupac, do you think he's still alive?
No comment.
I knew he was gonna say that.
um, talking about water and nature, climate control.
Mm-hmm.
Like I believe hurricanes, earthquakes are all part of the plan to
Yeah.
depopulate.
I actually did some, because you know how you've taught me since I've met you. Do your research. Do
Mm-hmm.
your research. So I knew that we were going to be talking about this, and I did research on weather control,
Mm-hmm.
and the some scientists in the, and damn it, I should have brought it so that we can reference it. Or I'll give it to you and you put it in the stuff.
Right.
Um, Scientists from this country said that they are so far behind on weather control compared to Russia.
Uh,
And I was like, holy crap,
mm,
that's not good.
yeah.
Or like talking about that, because it has to do with weather control, and have you ever seen that movie, The Truman Show? They
Mm-mm.
had this guy, the whole show, he was the only person that didn't know his life was a show, that
Mm.
they were watching it. They created a whole world where the ocean wasn't even, it was on a set and he didn't even know. The guy was born
Wow.
in it. So that's weird. That's crazy to me that they can control the weather like that.
Yeah. So like we were talking about in healthcare, episode 9,
Mm-hmm.
about the questions I was asking. I said how are they coming up with the Red Cross stuff and
Mm-hmm.
the fund me's so quickly? You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know, it's asinine to me. You know, it doesn't make any sense. And it kind of like like we're saying, ladies and gentlemen, these are conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if our theories hold any validity. You know what I'm saying? Just as a disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, these are just
Things
thoughts
to get
that
you
we have
thinking. Yeah.
and to make you think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
Don't be sheep. Do your research.
So one of the things I paid attention to is The Simpsons. And I
Yes.
talked about this in racism part 2, episode 3,
I
racism in America.
I still don't know how you do that.
And well, every show has a writing room, so it's not just one person. Just
Mm-hmm.
for people out there who are unaware, every show has a writing room and a whole bunch of writers. So you have like a showrunner, you have an executive producer, producers, vice presidents, music, clothing,
Mm-hmm.
a story editor. Like
Storyboard.
all
Yeah.
100 people make up a show. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just one person. So because a lot of people don't know that, so let me just educate them.
Except for this show. He does this show.
um, so with the Simpsons, I look at it like their writers must be like some of them might be like story of fortune tellers, psychics, or whatever it is, or might be in the group of they.
The elites.
You know what I'm saying? Because how are their predictions have came true? For
How
example,
on point, right?
the Trump presidency in 2000, they predicted that he was going to be president in 2015.
That's sick.
Unless these people that are making this stuff happen are fans of Simpsons, and they're like, "Yo,
Let's make
let's
it happen.
structure this." Also, in the Simpsons, Disney would buy 20th Century Fox. That
Wait,
shit
Simpson
happened.
predicted that?
Yeah,
Wow. I didn't know that.
so much stuff. Also, um, what's her name?
Ivanka?
Ivanka Trump, his daughter. They predicted her to run in 2028 for president.
Oh, that's gonna be good because she's. I'm gonna. I really well run. It doesn't mean that she's gonna win
They
because she ain't
predicted
going.
they predicted smartwatches. They predicted Siegfried and Roy, who are famous musicians. They were
Mm-hmm.
mauled by their white tiger.
Mm-hmm.
They predicted that, and it
It
happened.
did. That's not
Um
too far off though. It's a tiger.
yeah,
Yeah.
also I believe like just jumping off Simpsons. That's
Mm-hmm.
just like 5%. They've also predicted like winners of Super Bowls.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But just to jump off of them, they, and I always say they, are watching and listening to everything. So people out there, and like for me for example, right? My peripherals are always going.
Mm.
And like sometimes I'll be on my iPhone and I go on a website and this message cookie will come up
Mm-hmm.
and it will say something about access.
You
And
have
I've
to
always
accept.
denied.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
I've always
saying?
denied it too, but then it won't let you see that page.
Yeah. By you accepting, it's like now you
It
trigger
opens it.
something. There's a guy or people at computers that are like, all right, cool. Now we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see what you're watching. And this is also how maybe this shit is coming up on the news feeds and social media. I
Yes.
will go on social media, or I have in the past, and I'll run through my newsfeed and I see sponsor. And I'm like, yo, I was just looking at that off
Yeah.
Amazon or
Yeah. Me
something.
too. I think it's when you click, just like you say, when you click, it must set something off, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, keep sending that."
Yeah, so it's all psychological,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Because that is gonna influence you. It's like most people in this world are in impulse buyers,
Mm-hmm.
especially women. That's why I feel women spend more time most women spend more time shopping than men. Like a
Mm.
woman will spend like 2 hours versus a man. Like, yo, I'm just gonna
You
go get boxers, deodorant, milk for the house, and that's it.
and
And they'll
always leave
go in
something
and
out
that it. Well, a woman will say, "I need to get milk."
and come back
Next
with
thing you
everything
know,
else.
her cart is full. She's supposed to be there for 5 minutes. She's there for
She
like
has
an
a
hour and a
dress,
half.
a coat,
Yeah. Women
everything.
are more impulse buyers, and they're also like 90% of consumers in this world.
Yes, yes, that's true. So the next one you have is social media. Um, has these ads come up on your feed? Oh,
Mhm.
yes, and then you said about cookies.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So there are also other things. It might not be cookie, it might be something else.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, your location.
Yes, I never turn mine on.
Sometimes you go on something and they're like, "Oh, do you want to put your location on?"
Yeah.
That's
Do
another
you
thing.
turn yours on?
Mm-mm.
I don't either.
That's another thing. So I don't have those like none of those stuff like smartwatches and shit like that because I've always been paranoid.
Yeah, I have
I don't
a
do those
smartwatch though.
I don't do those Snapchat filter stuff.
That's what I
Like
wanted to
I
get
feel
up
like that's
to.
face recognition. And
Yep.
this is just me recapping from episode 9 healthcare because
Mm-hmm.
people will go back to episode 9 in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Um they will like my final thoughts and my questions. I'm just reiterating.
Right. I know my kids are very, they believe the same thing that so they always have like a sticker covering their cameras
Mm,
on their computer.
uh,
And my son never does any of those Snapchat or the challenges or he's like, no, I don't want my face on the on the
mm,
database. But talking about that, traffic cameras, you know how they take pictures now?
yeah.
I read somewhere that you know how sometimes you're stopped and you see the flash go off and you're like nobody even passed. What the hell
Yeah.
was that about? They're just randomly taking pictures of the people in the cart just to so they could scan it on their
Mm,
database to see who's hitting on a wanted list or something.
mm,
That's crazy.
yeah.
And I saw something about China. Oh my God! You go and they have these cameras. These it's like a square on everybody's face with their not with their names.
Uh,
It's sick. It's scary.
yeah, it is.
Very
What do you
scary.
think about 9/11? Because I have something to say about that.
Um, I think, you know, my mother was working at
That's
that
what I was
time,
about
and
to
she
ask you.
used to.
What do you remember about that? Where were you? Because I remember where I was.
I had just dropped off my son at preschool.
Mm,
He's 23 now. So I dropped him off at preschool. I went to the bank with my daughter, who's not even in school. I think she was 9 months old at the time.
mm,
And I heard it.
mm,
And I instantly went back to get him.
mm,
And his teacher was crying because her brother works in the city.
mm,
My mother was working at that time, and she worked in the city, and my sister lived out there.
mm,
My mom said, and she to this day she never forgets. She said she was walking in the street. It was crazy. People were trying running this and that. She said she saw a man, like a white looking man, and
mm,
he just looked as calm as hell, just walking by himself, the
mm,
complete opposite way. And she was like, I don't know what that was about, but I was trying to get out of there. That's scary.
mhm.
And everybody walked over the bridge that day. That is a far
Yeah.
walk. Now my sister lived in the city, so my mother, thank God, she got to
Mm.
go to her house, but that was scary.
I remember I was a junior in high school, and we were in the auditorium, and it was on a loudspeaker when it happened and everything like that. And that was also in the Simpsons. That's
Before it happened?
yeah,
Yes, it was.
that's why I believe it was an inside job.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
definitely believe that too.
And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Um, I also believe that they're making sacrifices for money and fame, but not the sacrifices that you think.
Not like killing somebody or yes, killing somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe they're sacrificing people, maybe groups of people. They're doing it for money, they're doing it for fame, they're doing it for marketing, they're doing it for championships,
Mm,
probably. They're doing it for think okay, let me ask you a question.
mm,
And these are just like I said, I don't know if these are true. This is just my theories.
mm.
If someone came to you or a group of people came to you and said to you, let's say it's the devil, right?
Oh man.
And the devil says, sign this contract in blood or whatever, right? Just use your imagination. Sign this contract, right? Using a pen, using blood, whatever. And after you sign this contract, I'm gonna make you the richest man in the world, woman. Let's say you, because I'm directing it towards you,
Mm,
richest woman in the world. Um, we're gonna do this to push your brand. We're gonna do this to put your market. We're gonna do this for social media. We're gonna do this for you. You'll never be worried about money or your family. But here's the stipulation:
I was waiting for that
you
one.
have to kill somebody you love.
Somebody you love?
Sacrifice. You may not you physically do it.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? May not you physically do it, or you have to slap your mother or something. You know what I'm
I could
saying?
probably
Or
slap my mother,
beat her ass
but I don't want to kill him.
for money.
I could slap somebody for money.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
would have
kidding.
never slapped
I'm
my
just
mom
kidding.
or anything like that, or any family members
Yeah,
for that.
no.
But I'm just saying this is my thoughts, the
Mm.
ideology. But I'm asking you, what would you do?
I would have to say no because I'm a very paranoid person already.
Mm,
Like that's just my nature. I would be like, okay, if it's even if he said it like you did, you don't actually have to kill that person.
mm.
But in your mind you have to pick somebody out. Or just know that it's somebody loved.
I
I
asked
couldn't do
I
that.
asked one of my friends this. This is another one, but directed towards a man. I asked my friends this. I said, "What if they put like $50 million on the table for you? It's right there. You could touch it, and they're all in this room or whatever together. Nobody's around. No cameras. No nothing. This is like a secret thing. It's confidential." And they say, "You could have this money," and you're like, "Word?" And they say, "But you gotta suck my
Oh.
dick, or you gotta take this dick up your ass."
Oh no. What did he
You know what
say?
I'm saying? He was like, "No."
Good for him.
You know what I mean? He's married, he has children or whatever. But I was just we like to talk about shit like this.
Yeah.
You know, so like I believe this shit might be happening.
I think so too. I mean,
You know what I'm saying? And
it's not on, you know, like it can't happen.
yeah. And it's like, to me, you know, this goes back to me believing that don't believe everything you see.
Mm.
Now, sports are rigged. Nobody can change my mind about that. We could agree to disagree. However, I still watch it because it's entertaining.
Mm.
Just like, okay, people, okay, do you believe wrestling is fake, professional wrestling?
I I believe the
Like it's
moves are real, but I do believe it's scripted.
okay. So that's how I look at it as other sports. I
You
look at it
think
like it's professional wrestling.
so? Like basketball, football, they're all scripted.
Yes. So
Gotcha.
what they might
That
do is
makes.
they might, I'm not gonna name anybody.
Mm.
They might take a athlete, celebrity athlete. They look at their fan base. They say, we're gonna make this guy a decorated superstar.
We're gonna put all our forces to push him.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's
Wow.
selling merchandise for us. So he's making us rich. He's got all these deals, sneaker deals, whatever, selling all this stuff, shampoos,
Right. So
whatever.
he's making those companies rich too.
Yes, and
Hmm.
also the league or
The
whatever is
league.
getting,
A
you know,
percentage?
percentage from
Really?
it. This is just what I'm thinking.
Well, damn, that
I
makes a
don't know
lot
if
of
this is
sense, though.
true.
Got you.
You know, like I said, this conspiracy
I'm not a
theories.
sporty chick, so I don't know, but that makes
So
sense.
I like by structuring the people, making them the face of the league or whatever. They're now structuring these guys to be called the GOAT. And I mentioned what the GOAT means. It's an acronym for greatest of all time.
Okay.
And these guys now are guaranteed championships. These guys are guaranteed to be in the big dance. And for people who don't understand what the big dance is, it might be a Super Bowl or NBA Finals or whatever,
Okay.
right? Or hockey, whatever, Stanley Cup,
Okay.
baseball, World Series. You understand? Because we don't
Right.
want to just stick.
Say it's to one. Right.
Yes,
It's all of them.
yes. So I believe that this shit is going on because I believe like Vegas, Mafia, like they all got their hands
Mm,
in shit.
yes, that's
You understand
true.
what I'm saying? And I will disclose something that is public information. There was a former referee, Tim Dogney. I don't know if I'm saying it
Donahue?
Donahue. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying his name
I
right or
don't know
whatever.
either. That's weird.
He stated, if you want to get paid, you gotta cover the spread. Do you know what a spread is?
No.
Okay. So when I used to work at not gonna name the company, but I was a manager in this retail company, corporation. And every morning back then they used to get morning newspapers. So every time I go to the sports section, like I read first couple pages was the news, but I go in the sports section
Mm.
and I see what the spread was. Now, what the spread is, they look at two teams and they predict who's going to win, and they show a negative -3, which might mean that these people are going to win by 3 points,
Okay.
or these people are going to win by 7 points. These people are going to win by 20 points if it's basketball or whatever it is, hockey. That's the spread. So a lot of times Vegas and people like that, they bet on the spread. Me, I used to like look at teams and stuff like that. And I used to be like guys used to be like, yo, who you think is gonna win or whatever. And this is how I made my decision. I used to say who has home field advantage,
Mm-hmm.
because that matters sometimes. Who how is the crowd as far as like ticket sales and stuff like that? Because you know,
It must be hard
the league is
nowadays.
getting
Then,
the league
yeah.
is getting a percentage of that.
Okay.
Who's selling more tickets? I look at like weather conditions. If it was like um baseball or football, because those are outdoor.
Yeah.
Basketball is indoor.
Yeah.
Every
Hockey's
basketball is
indoor.
indoor.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey's indoor. So I look at weather conditions because that plays a factor too. Um, I looked at the players. I looked at, are there injuries? I look at all these
Wow,
things
that's a lot.
that could that could determine the outcome of a game, and I base my judgment off that.
You bet on games
No,
too? No. Okay.
no. But like this is going on, I feel.
Mm.
And
It
this
makes
referee
sense.
coming out,
Saying that.
you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, you gotta like think now for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, like, oh, if you didn't think it was going on, like maybe it could be.
Yeah.
You know, like the government has like a long history of cover-ups.
Yes. They cover up everything. They cover up back in I don't even remember. I think in the 70s in Roswell, New Mexico. there was some sort of crash. They said the government said it was a weather balloon that
Mm.
crashed, and then come to find out, this actually was one, because I did my research. This Roswell, New Mexico conspiracy theory turned out to be true. It was
Mm.
apparently some sort of alien spacecraft that crashed. Now, whether there was an actual alien there, I don't know. That's still a theory that they have the body somewhere, but I don't know. But it even goes back even further with the government, with the when the when the Pilgrims came, the first Thanksgiving, they gave them small the American Indians, the Native
Yes.
Americans wanted to come and help them.
Yeah.
Let us help you, because this is, you don't know this land. This is how you can cultivate so that you can survive.
Mm.
And what did they get? They get smallpox, and they get their land stolen from them and raped
Yeah.
and killed and all that other stuff.
Facts.
So I mean, I
Facts.
don't know what the government. Come on, guy.
Yeah. So when I look, when I watch like movies and shows like that, I watch things in depth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might pick up on things that might fly over somebody's head. And one of the things is like Born Identity. Have
Yes.
you ever seen Born Identity?
I've seen the first one.
Yeah. I've seen them all.
Those
And they've
those
always,
freak me out,
yeah.
because I know people, you have such an incredible imagination. Your
Mm.
imagination is something different.
Yeah.
But even somebody who has an incredible imagination like that cannot possibly make up all that type of stuff. That has to be, when I see movies like that,
Yeah.
it makes me think somebody somewhere got tired of covering up and is exposing them
Yeah.
through movies.
Yeah.
Through, hey, this is make believe because we did it in Hollywood, but is it make believe really?
Mm.
Or are we just borrowing knowledge that we know is out there
Mhm.
to amuse you?
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
freaky.
Two of the most influential things in the world is music and television. And I've said this in prior episodes. Um, Music and television, it's all propaganda.
Yeah.
So they're using these celebrities or whatever it is to plant these seeds, whether it's in music or television.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And people are gonna be influenced of what they hear, what they say. I mean, what they see.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I believe the presidential elections are rigged.
Oh yeah, there is a conspiracy theory going around now that
Hmm.
Biden isn't even going to make it to finish out this presidency. He's going
Mm.
to get sick, he's going to die, and Kamala's going to take over. That's how we're going to get our first female black president.
Mm.
That's one that's been circulating. How true that is, I mean, he is old, he's forgetful. I always, the conspiracy theory that I was, really running with during the whole election was he was just a front, because
Mm.
you can control him better.
If that happens, if she takes over, you thought the feminist movement was crazy
Back then.
back then, it's gonna be crazy now. It's gonna be crazy now. Those women that were putting out songs like "Single Ladies" and "Independent" and stuff like that, that has run through women's heads, and that is breaking up the families. That is breaking up the stuff. Where now women are being more alpha in
Mm.
relationships. They're like, "Oh, I make this money, so I'm not gonna do this or whatever." And if that happens, I'm telling you, like it's gonna be it's gonna be a following thing. It's
Oh
gonna be a
yes.
trend. It's gonna be now where like bitches women might be like, yo, I'm
Oh.
putting the strap on now.
Oh
I'm
my
fucking
lord.
you. You
That's
know what I'm
all.
saying? Being
Hey,
placed
if that's
on
what you like.
being placed on debt,
Oh.
finances, student loans, mortgages. This is all part of the plan. So I'm gonna give you an example. When I was a general manager at a gym, when we'd have these conferences, EFT, do you know what EFT is?
No.
Electronic fund transfer.
Okay.
EFT was always better than PIFs. PIFs is an acronym for paying in full. I'm going to give you an example. When you have somebody in more in debt, you're making more money. I'm going to give you an
Ah.
example. Let's say I have 3 members in a gym, and they all pay $500 for
Okay.
2 years, and that like they don't have to pay monthly. That's $1,500 I made for that month.
Mm.
Now, what am I gonna do for the next month? No, okay. What am I gonna do for the 11 months?
Right.
Because there's
Because you only
12
got that
months in a
one.
year.
Right.
When you put somebody on EFT, like you have, let's say you have ten members versus the three, and each of them are paying $50.
a month.
Yeah, a month. You think about it, you're making more money, even though it's less, because you got them in a contract
Right.
monthly
Right. They come.
every month.
The other one is just boom, one shot.
Yeah,
Nothing.
you're actually losing more money when you put people on when people pay in full. So you
Mm,
think about it, if you get people in debt, you know what I'm saying, you always have them.
yeah. You got control over them.
Yeah, whether you're building this business, and that's what the business is on. I'm not just picking on the gym. Like,
Right.
it's just
Right.
an example. You know what I'm saying? Like gyms or
Schools.
schools,
You know,
like colleges
this is
specifically,
yeah. This is the
and private
only
schools.
this is the only country that has a credit check, like where they check your credit. This is
Mm,
the only country that has it. This is the only one of the only countries that
mm,
you have to pay for medical, and
mm,
you have that your government doesn't, service that to you. School and health. You have
mm.
to pay for your education and you have to pay for your health. And some of that is super expensive. A lot of that is. So I don't know what this country is thinking.
Here's what another thing I think about the government. Um, when it comes to organized crime versus terrorism, I feel like they put more emphasis on organized crime than they do terrorism.
Because they can't get nothing from
Think of
organized crime.
yes, yes,
Yeah, they want if
exactly.
they don't get
You
their cut.
read my mind. That's why I feel like for Rico, that's more serious than a homicide. Because a
Well,
homicide, they're gonna look at, oh, that's just another nigga off the street. That's just another woman or whatever
if it's
off
a
the
person of
street.
color, God forbid it's not, then they go crazy over things.
Well, that's okay. Let's just say that's just a dude off
Okay.
the street.
Hmm.
That's just a woman off the street. You know what I'm saying? It's not hurting us. The moment they know that they can't get that cut, like you were saying,
Yep.
that's what it is, because that's what the RICO is. It's racketeering. It's influence. It's
Hmm.
corrupt organization. It's kidnapping, gambling, robbery. These states are off the books. Money laundering. It's like it's off the books products. That's why I feel like, think about it. They will go harder for a street pharmacist than a um than a
Murderer.
a corporate pharmacist,
Mm.
because that corporate pharmacist, and I said this in episode 1 part 2, should
Mm.
women be more submissive to their men and
Hmm.
wives to their husbands. It's like, and I didn't elaborate. um they know that the off the book guy is not paying taxes.
Yeah. And they get mad at that. Like, you
Yeah.
can't. Don't think you're gonna make that
So,
money and not give
so
me
they're
mine.
gonna portray those people as bad people, as criminals.
Yep. Meanwhile,
But your doctor's a drug dealer.
oh yeah.
Your pharmacist is a drug dealer. He's just a corporate drug dealer that punches in and out.
But not only that, you know how many,
A
of these
drug dealer,
of these doctors got
a
caught
street,
writing
yeah,
prescriptions like that
yeah. A
purposely.
street drug dealer is an entrepreneur. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? It's like yeah, we won't get into it because
Yeah.
we don't see this eye to eye. Um, but that's the same thing with like prescription drugs versus like um your vitamins. A
Yes.
doctor could give you a pill, say, "Oh, you
High
have
blood
low
pressure.
deficiency
Right.
of whatever,
Iron.
iron, white blood cells. You need more red blood cells. You have your low income, low immune system.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I'm gonna prescribe you this pill of vitamin C. Has 500 milligrams. Take this once a day. Meanwhile, you could probably have
And
two
the
oranges or
oranges. Yeah.
whatever.
Or even there's even better than that. They'll give you a medication for your high blood pressure, but be careful because it could hurt your liver down the line with this
Mm,
medication. So when that happens, guess what? We're going to put you on a different medication
mm,
to combat what's going on with that first medication.
mm,
And it's like a cycle.
yeah.
People got to do their research on. I'm big for, you don't want to take, prescribed medication 100%, but then do your research and see what you can take that will help, that's natural.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
I can't believe this. This can't be right.
What?
We just ran through the whole thing.
Well, we just
We
ran
can
through it.
go back.
We didn't
See if we can go
like
back to some.
we didn't talk more in depth as far as, I mean, honestly, this is just me recapping, because I know I said a lot of this in episode 9. Um, so that's why I don't want to reiterate it. They should
Mm,
just go back. Like, climate control, we could go in depth, but I said it in 9 about
Yeah.
the meteorologist. How does the meteorologist know? How is he or she so secure? How are they so certain about what's gonna happen?
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? As far as the weather.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes they're totally off. So I don't even think they have like that to predict the weather. I don't think they have that science down packed. But to create something
Mm,
like a storm or like a tsunami
mm,
or something like that, yes, I definitely believe that.
yeah, definitely. I feel that, going back to the sports, this is influence too. You know what I'm saying? So when when they're like I believe this, right? I don't want to say that this is true,
Mm.
but I believe that when it's rigged, you know, people are benefiting off of that.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? If there was
especially if
if
they
there wasn't
know.
if there wasn't a lot of money involved, these shits wouldn't be rigged.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, let's
people.
take somebody,
It gets really
let's structure
serious.
this around this person. They're gonna be the GOAT. They're gonna be the greatest of all time, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna make everything go in their favor. Calls are not gonna get against them. Referees, like this is what I believe, right? And people don't listen to me. I'm crazy. This is what I believe. I believe that and I could go on stories about how this shit I believe is a fact
Mm.
with certain people retiring and then making them win the Super Bowl or whatever. I could go into depth, but I'm
Yeah,
not.
that's true.
I'm not because we'll be here for 3 hours.
We
Um,
will be.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna just summarize when I believe that okay, there's a boss. I'm not gonna mention this who they are specifically, but I believe that there's a boss of that league, that association,
Okay.
and they will go into the locker room of each person and each team per se. Listen, this is how it's gonna go.
Mm.
This team's gonna win. This is make it look good and entertaining, blah, 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 blah. That's why I believe that there was a Super Bowl. I'm not gonna name it, let people do their research. There was a Super Bowl that it was 28-6 before the half. It was in 2015. And then people will I'll give
They're
them
gonna
more
be like,
research. It was 2000, no, I'm sorry, 2012. This person was retiring on his team, and his team was up 28-6. The lights go out before the half game, before halftime. The lights go out. Automatically, I was like, rigged. Because maybe you piss somebody off where they say, yo, keep this shit close. Y'all running away with it. They blamed it
mm,
on a celebrity. Not gonna mention the celebrity. They blamed it on a celebrity because she performed that day. They said, oh, she used up all the pyro and lights and all that stuff.
really?
Yes. How I said to myself when I saw this to my friend, because he always had Super Bowl parties, how do they not know who's responsible?
Mm.
How do they not know who's responsible? They go on a 30-minute break, maybe to give the other team a break. Yo,
Mm.
get your shit together, tie this shit
Right.
up. They go on a 30-minute break. It's not even halftime yet, because halftime is usually like that, or 15 minutes. I don't really remember. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't really remember. They go on a break and they're trying to find out who's responsible. I said to my friend, how is this $1 trillion association unprepared for shit like
Unprepared.
this?
Yes.
No way, I don't believe it.
Mm.
Somebody flip a switch. Just like I believe that there might be a magnet inside a ball, a basketball, baseball.
I've
There
heard
might be
that
a
before.
magnet
I've heard
inside a
that.
football. You kicking a field goal and you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Somebody hit a button. I'm just crazy.
Right. You're
You
not
know what I'm saying?
crazy.
I just think outside the box where
Mm.
I'm like,
That's what it is.
could this be a possibility? You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? So that's just going into the sports. Like I said, I don't want to really get into
I
because
mean,
you don't
even
know
with
about
boxing,
sports.
I know
Oh,
boxing.
definitely. The guy who's the bigger name, he's always who's favorite. Who's
Yeah.
this? He's making us more money.
They even make movies about it
He's the
though.
cash cow. Yo, we gotta do this because if he loses, there's 100 people that's gonna lose.
Yeah.
You
And they'll
understand what
take
I'm
you,
saying?
they'll tell you, you got to take this
Endorsements.
fall. You
Oh
got to take it
yeah,
because we got a
absolutely,
lot of money betting that you're going to
absolutely,
lose.
absolutely. Yeah.
100%.
So yeah. I mean, I think we just ran through it like you said.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Um, for once, I don't really have final thoughts on this. I think people should go back to episode 9 and listen to my final thoughts.
I have a
But
conspiracy theory about that.
I will just I will just say to people that, you know, um it's like, think outside the box, unlearn and relearn. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Structure your mindset on critical thinking and analytic and being an analytic thinker. Don't just believe everything you see and hear. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Tupac said a long time ago before his death, he said, I may not change the world, but I'm gonna spark a mind that's going to. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, just think outside the box, man. Don't be sheep, don't be gullible, don't be naive. Don't think to yourself like, if your instincts are kicking in, because our souls are powerful. We're
Mm.
energy in flesh, not the other way around. I said I didn't have any final thoughts. Look at me.
Look at this.
We're spirits in flesh, not the other way around, and we live in a spiritual realm, not a physical one. So if your gut, you feel like a certain sharp pain or whatever out of nowhere, you get chills out of nowhere, just something like your peripherals, trust that.
Yes.
Because that's like
Definitely.
that's like your ancestors. Those are the angels. Those are the spirits. Those are these entities that are, yo, we're trying
Trying
to
to get your
kick you
attention.
in the fucking head.
Yes.
Wake up. You understand what I'm saying? Don't ignore those things. Those things are powerful. Me, I'm always paying attention to those things.
Yeah, me
You know
too.
what I'm saying? So usually when I've thought of these things, whether it was this that we're talking about, this
Hmm.
topic, shit like that has happened to me. I've got these chills. I
I
got a
get the
stomach
chills.
pain, and I'm like, my stomach doesn't even hurt right now, and all of a sudden my stomach starts hurting. Something is going on my head. I feel like I get a kick in the head. I'm just like, where did it
What
come
is
from?
that
And
for?
now I'm like,
Now you're trying to figure
back
it
then
out.
I didn't understand it. Now I do.
I feel like once you realize that that's what's going on, you're much more, quicker to pick up on it.
Yes.
Like if you know that those are signs from yourself to yourself, like that there's something off, then you want to, do that research. Like why is this happening right now?
Yeah.
But I agree with everything, for the most part of what you said in regards to people. Don't be sheep. Don't just believe anything you say. I was taught 4 years ago to do your research.
Hmm.
Research, research,
Hmm.
research. That's the best thing that you can do for yourself. You
Yeah.
don't got to go to an expensive Ivy League school to educate yourself.
Yeah.
There, you have a free education with your laptop. Just open it up and research for yourself.
Everybody's on their phone.
Or on your phone. They're
You
all
know what I'm saying?
smartphones.
Yeah.
Look something up.
Yeah. What I want to add to that is the foods are part of the plant. So
Yes.
these processed foods, like, we are linked with atoms and neurons on this earth, and it's like it would make sense to replenish because our body is predominantly water. So if you're not eating these vegetables, fruits, these organic stuff, this vegan stuff, you're not gonna be able to think like this. You're not gonna be, because now it's a force field. Like, I really want people to go listen to that episode 9, because I don't want to
You
reiterate.
should make it pop up right here. Episode 9.
I don't
Episode
want to
9.
reiterate, but the foods are part of the plant.
They put things in the food so
Yeah,
that
it's
certain
part
parts
of the
of you
plant.
can like the pineal gland
Yeah,
with the toothpaste and
your
all that
third
stuff.
eye chakra.
Exactly.
Like, there's
They
7
want you to
chakras.
be that slow,
And
sluggish, not up
yes,
with things.
yes, you're
Yeah,
vibrating now at a low frequency.
exactly.
Where there's 7 chakras in the human body. So when you're engaging in these things, whether it's activity, because social media is for that too. You hating on somebody, that's you vibrating on a low frequency. Envy is, you're a hater, you whatever it is, you're vibrating at a low frequency. All this shit is part of the plan.
Yes.
Everything that you like, look at it like this, right? We are a heart. All of us are a heart, and there's a cord attached to it. It's like a plug, and now it's going into the outlet of
Mm.
everything that you're absorbing. So everything that you see, whether it's television, music, foods, social media, blah, 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 who you're following on
Mm-hmm.
social media and stuff like that, that's being absorbed.
Into you.
Books,
Mm-hmm.
music, whatever it is, you're absorbing that into you. Now it's influencing you
Yep.
if you are not strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I could listen to gangster rap and trap music, but I'm not gonna be influenced by it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
You just
know
like the
that that's
music.
entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
90% of these rappers are not doing what they're saying
Yes, I agree with that too.
anymore.
Not now. That's
You
for
know what I'm
sure.
saying? Or never did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're just profiting off the culture.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's like, these things to me, it's like you have to, it's all about being alpha. It's all about being alpha. And part of being alpha is being able to think for yourself. That's a hard thing to do for a lot of people. You tell people to think for themselves, do fucking research, read a fucking book. They're like, I
I
don't
don't
want
want
to
to do
read a
that.
book. I
Yeah.
just rather just
Just give me
watch
the
a show.
answer. Yeah.
Because this makes you lazy. Versus this, you have to do work. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to do work.
No, because
You understand?
they're already
So
they're already programmed.
yeah.
Because this doesn't just start with, just you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It starts with your family, with how they were raised and
Facts.
all that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
already programmed into us.
Facts. So we hope you enjoyed this episode, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope that you take something from it.
Yes.
Do your research, think for yourself, and be alpha, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people influence you and tell you what is right and shit like that. Even if you grew up in a church or whatever it is, God looks at your heart, not your out word appearance and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Think for yourself. That's the main objective of this show. That's why we have this conspiracy theory episode.
Yeah, not
Like
they might not all agree with it,
yeah.
but something's gonna resonate with somebody and you're gonna want to research it.
Yes, yes. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.